Stock Traders, and welcome back to Stock Traders Talk Radio. I'm your host, Stock Sumo. Thanks for joining us on this wonderful Wednesday, June 13th. I'm fired up, so I hope you're fired up too. It's time to heat up those cups of coffee as we begin to look through the markets. So turn on those scanners, open up your charts, and fire up your trading accounts. Joining us on this morning's program, we have Haas.
Hey, good morning, Sumo. How you doing, bud?
Hey, what's happening, buddy? I'm doing great. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing pretty good. You watched the basketball game last night?
No, I didn't. How did it go down?
I didn't actually watch it, but, you got Oklahoma taking Miami to school a little bit on the NBA Finals. So I'm a big fan of Kevin Durant, so always a good sign.
Well, I don't hate too much on too many athletes, but I'm a hater of LeBron, so anytime he loses, I look forward to it. True story. One time I was at a restaurant in South Beach, Florida, and I was sitting at a table adjacent from LeBron. So I'm in there with my fiance, another couple of gentlemen that I was doing business with at the time. We were having a business dinner. It was at STK, I believe is the name of the steakhouse. Really nice, hip, trendy place. Really loud in the place. But they have one in New York City. I've been to that as well. But the one down in Miami, I'm in there. We're having cocktails, and here comes LeBron with like this whole entourage of people. He sat at the table across from us, and I don't know. My friend wanted to go over there and shake his hand. He did. I didn't really care for him too much. I didn't really care for the ladies that he was with. You would think LeBron would show up with some like dime pieces or something, man. His girls kind of looked like Bobo-ish, and I don't know. I wasn't feeling the vibe from him. I felt like he was really cocky and arrogant, and he didn't really show us much respect. I'm not asking for him to be sign autographs or anything like that. But when my buddy went to shake his hand, I sensed a bit of an attitude from him. So but whatever. I ended up enjoying the dinner. I didn't even pay any attention to him at all, really, because I personally don't care for the guy.
Nice, I guess. that's a cool story, man. That's funny.
Yeah. All right. Also joining us on this morning's program, we have Siffy. What's happening, buddy?
Aloha, Sumo, Haas. That is classic. LeBron, you better recognize him. Sumo in the house. What up?
I think he was with some other basketball players too. He might have been with D Wade, and I think he was with Timberland too, the musician guy.
And they didn't have dime pieces. Go figure, huh, Haas?
They were rolling with some ugly girls, man.
They were rolling with some pennies.
That was good. I liked it.
It's funny, man.
We need another Sumo sound bit on that one. Sippy.
Yeah, we're gonna get that.
Yeah.
I have more respect for
Spud
athletes that are courteous. They don't have a big ego. They don't have a chip on their shoulder, and they treat everybody the same. Here's another story. One time I was having dinner at a really nice steakhouse out in Scottsdale, Arizona, and we're sitting. It was at Morton Steakhouse. Great steakhouse. Better than this STK place. And I see VJ Singh. The Pro Tour happened to have been in town that week that I was in Arizona, and who's sitting adjacent from me at the table across from us is VJ Singh. And I was with some clients at the time, and I tell them, and it's funny because the clients that I was with, they were drinking a really good bottle of wine. The guy decided to send a bottle of wine over to VJ, and I think that left a really good impression with him. And even before my client decided to send a bottle of wine over, we went over and talked to VJ. He shook my hand. We were talking with the caddy, who was a really cool guy. VJ was very soft-spoken, but very polite at the same time. And, very, very humble guy. And to me, I have a lot more respect for people like that. It just goes a long way with me. And needless to say, my client ended up buying a bottle of wine and sent it over, and I got my picture taken with him.
Nice. I've always been a big fan of Vijay Singh, actually. So that's cool.
Yeah, he's a great golfer.
Yeah, he is.
Cool stuff. I like seeing celebrities out. It's kind of fun. It makes me feel like I'm important when I'm at the right place at the right time, and I get to see somebody cool like that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, enough about me lollygag about my personal ventures and seeing celebrities. Why don't we talk stocks?
All right. I think we can talk about a few stocks this morning. There's quite a few companies putting some news out here.
I love how your little FDA play has been turning out. Arna, man, what a beast that one's been.
Oh yeah, I suppose I was going to talk about that this morning. Actually, I think I called. We'd be hitting $7 ranges shortly, just about a week or so ago, and we'd see 8s shortly after that. And go figure, it's trading at 8.18 pre-market right now. No, that one was. It's probably got a little more juice left before that FDA decision, but always keep in mind, if the FDA denies this drug, this thing's gonna plummet down to like $1 or $2, as always happens. And actually, it happened with Arna about 2 years ago, I think. I think it was in 2010, where they had their FDA decision before this. But it's fun to watch. These are, for the most part, pretty predictable. Another thing you gotta watch out for when these biotech stocks are running before a PDUFA date from the FDA is they like to raise funds. As we saw when we had the positive FDA panel on Arena when we were first watching it, I think that was in early May. Right after that, within a day or two, they raised a bunch of money at $5 when this thing was trading at $7. So, they put that news out and it just kind of like settles down a little bit. They're raising funds. They're, getting a big chunk of cash just in case things go wrong or just in case their drug actually does get approved so they can, enhance marketing efforts with those funds. So I wouldn't be surprised to see some sort of press release within the next couple of weeks related to some sort of capital raising at higher prices. So it's trading at, let's say $8.50 today. They might raise, however many $1 million at $7 or something within the next week or so, and that'll kind of hold it back for a little while. And then it's the nature of the game. It's the circle of the biotech stock FDA run up. But yeah, I'm looking to the June 26th FDA decision date. That doesn't always land on that date, but that's when it's expected. So hopefully around that time we'll hear something. And if it's positive, this thing's going to go to the moon. All right.
Great stuff. I seen another stock that blew up yesterday on some news regarding some FDA stuff. Regeneron. Did you see that one?
I was just going to go over that next. Matt, you're reading my mind this morning. This is good. This is good. Yeah, Regeneron Incorporated. The ticker is RGIN. They actually put out some huge news yesterday, and that's the reason why you see a massive spike during the last hour or two of trading there. Closed at 27 cents. Before that, was trading around that 14-15 cent area with very, very low volume. The FDA issues orphan drug status approval for Permaderm. I don't know how you pronounce that exactly, but obviously it has to do with skin, the nerve portion of it. But let's go over that press. Regeneron Incorporated, a biotechnology company specializing in the development of and commercialization of regenerative cell therapies to restore the health of damaged tissues and organs, announced today that the FDA has granted orphan status approval for the Permaderm product, the only tissue engineered skin prepared from autologous skin cells consisting of both epidermal and dermal layers. That is indicated for catastrophic burn patients. The FDA previously designated to be a biological drug, not a medical device. Permaderm is the only skin replacement technology to receive this biological drug designation. Obviously, there's different regulations, whether you're going through the approval process for a drug versus a medical device. So the FDA is giving this specific product a biological drug indication. Basically, what they're doing is they're taking a patient's own skin cells and growing skin cells and, replacing damaged skin from catastrophic burns, which is actually really cool. I had a buddy in high school, and I actually play hockey with him to this day, who had some sort of issue with his skin. I can't remember what it was. I think he had an allergic reaction to something, or maybe he got in an accident. I can't remember exactly what happened. We were pretty young, but they did the other option here that they talk about in this next paragraph versus harvesting the patient's own skin cells. They use like the pig's porcelain or cadaver skin. And basically when you're using the patient's own skin cells, it's going to reduce the risk to the patient, having some sort of immune response to putting pig skin on yourself, So it's a really cool product and technology that they're developing there. In a day and age where we're basically growing hearts from 1 or 2 cells, and now they do the skin to help burn patients. So huge news, orphan drug status approval. That will definitely aid this through the FDA process and getting approved and getting it marketed. They've had some good success with their early clinical trials. So I fully expect this one to be tradable over the next little bit here. There's, I think, about $900,000 worth of trading volume yesterday, and I would expect quite a bit again today because that news was released pretty late yesterday. We'll be looking at this, and some of these bios can get hot. So just keep your eyes on it. Let's see here. Let's go over some news for the morning. We'll start with ADXS, Advaxis Incorporated. This one closed at 9 cents yesterday. It's kind of been hanging around this 9-10 cent range for a little while. Let's check out this news. Advaxis, a leader in developing the next generation of immunotherapies for cancer and infectious diseases, announced the publication of preclinical research with ADXS PSA. Advaxis' immunotherapy targeting the PSA antigen associated with prostate cancer. Looks like, let's get some results here. The study showed the combination of this immunotherapy and radiation therapy resulted in complete regression of established tumors in 60% of mice, so that's very positive. In mice that completely regressed after combination, tumors did not develop on re-challenge tumor cells, also good. Combination therapy resulted in increased production of PSA-specific T cells in the periphery and an increased infiltration of these cells in the tumor microenvironment. So you got these T cells attacking these prostate-specific antigen cells that can lead to prostate cancer. So good stuff there. Very positive for Advaxis. I've had my eyes on this one for a long time. Actually traded this one from 3 cents to 15 cents way back. They're mostly phase 2 trials right now with a lot of their immunotherapies related to cancer. Interesting little company. All right, our favorites, HBRN. Herborium Group put out some press this morning. This one closed at 0044 yesterday, so this one's still kind of hanging back a little bit after a massive run. The news this morning. Herborium Group Incorporated has issued an update on the proposed acquisition term sheet received from China-based China Health Resource Incorporated, a company that manufactures herbal ingredients for traditional Chinese medicines in China. The proposal from China Health Resource Incorporated includes proposals to merge China Resource Incorporated into Herborium Group, with Herborium to be the surviving public entity. So very interesting there. It might bring China Resource Incorporated into Herborium. Looks like through some sort of reverse merger. But both companies are public, so I don't know exactly what that would be called. It's probably some sort of reverse merger, reverse acquisition, whatever you want to call it. Okay, let's check out. Cavu Resources, ticker CAVR. This one closed at 0089 yesterday. Put out some press related to the History Channel here. Cavu Resources Incorporated announced today is providing the grand prize money for the Oki Noodling Tournament to be held. What the heck's an Oki Noodling Tournament?
Dude, noodling. You don't know what noodling is?
Should I know what noodling is?
Come on, man. It's when you go fishing for catfish and you just use your hand. You just reach down in the mud, and that's what noodling is.
I feel like that should be on Duck Dynasty.
It should.
Wow, that's I'm gonna have to go search out some YouTube videos after the show here on some Oki noodling.
We should do some noodling videos during the show. What the heck?
All right, if you find one, we'll pop it up. Oki noodling. That's awesome. Anyways, they're providing grand prize money for this Oki Noodling Tournament to be held on June 23rd, 2012 in Wacker Park, Pauls Valley, Oklahoma. This event is one of the largest and most profitable events in the area. And then they go on to talk about their saltwater disposal wells in that particular area. So that's probably why they're sponsoring that. That makes sense. They're showing regional support. I like it. All right, next we are going to take a look at IAM. We've had a couple people post in our, whoops, that's not the news I wanted. Come on now. Killing me. Just a little while ago, on April 17, 2012, the company closed an equity financing at 2 cents. And just this spring, they released another equity financing. I don't even know what I'm clicking on anymore.
All right, I got a video of the noodling up. Siffy, you want to cut it back to me?
Yes.
All right. So you can see these two guys are in the water, right? Hold on, let's take it back a little bit. One guy was totally underneath the water. All right, so you see one guy. Oh, there goes the other guy. He's down there digging, trying to reach for, reach his arm down there for a catfish to bite onto it. Oh, looks like he's got one. Oh, look at the size of that thing. Notice he's got his hand right through the gill of the fish so it doesn't flop off. And that's just, that fish is nothing but just muscle, man. Just solid muscle. Those catfish are strong.
Wow, that's very interesting. I feel like I should know what noodling is. I feel like an idiot now.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't know, man.
That's clearly something that someone from North Dakota or Minnesota should probably know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, disappointing. Anyways, I suck.
Well, why don't I pull up the scanner real quick? We'll take a look at what has some pre-market volume here. You can see this USU is trading up significantly pre-market. It's at $1.08. It's up 44% pre-market. Let's see what else is trending up here pre-market. What do you got here? ALXA up 787%. Not much volume there, only 2,200 shares. But SIFI just pulled up the USU chart. You want to talk about that one? Because she just broke out of some key resistance there at $1 range. She broke that resistance at $1. Look, that was a previous support level. SIFI, why don't you run with the chart?
Looks like it's kabooming. Nice, nice bottom action here. You can see, let's draw a couple lines on this thing. You can see you drop your line right on the top here. Oh man, come on, it's gonna do this to me again. Oh yeah, there we go. And you can put it anywhere you want. You stack it on any of these and you get yourself a breakout here. We'll just stack it off this one. You can see when it broke that 20 MA, we talk about it all the time. And today, obviously exploding. This thing's already ran up to, shoot, man, over $1.20 something today, huh? But it looks like it's pulling back a little bit. You got that 100 MA up there. You got your 50 below here. You got yesterday's candle to refer back to. So you got some supports, but yep, up 24 cents. I can't wait to see this thing take off on level 2 and see how they're gonna trade her out the gate, man. Good find there, Sumo. What else you got, man?
Yeah, that one was the best one that stood out to me so far. It had the most trades going off. Not really seeing much of anything else here that's truly standing out. I look for big volume, and nothing really popping out to me here. KITD, it's Kit Digital Inc. It's up 10% pre-market. Why don't you pull up a chart on that, see what that thing looks like.
My computer must be slow because it ain't pulling up KITV.
It's KITD, I'm sorry.
KITV is in Victor?
D is in David.
D. Okay.
Oh yeah, this one's coming off of a nice bottom.
KITD. Kit Digital?
Mm-hmm.
Nice, man. Well, looking at the daily 100-day, you can see it's broken through that 20-day moving average, and it did it before briefly back in April, May, but you can see that 20 MA has been a point of resistance ever since it fell off the cliff back in February. So we'll
look
see.
At that big gap down.
Definitely don't want to see it close below that 20 MA. Maybe she can make a run for that 50. Keep in mind you got this gap right here. You can see this gap right here. What happened? They filled it and then back to selling. Not saying they're going to fill this gap, but you definitely got some resistance. You can see that illustrated there, gapped out. So I'm going to keep my eye on that. That might coincide with the 50 MA, but just have to play it accordingly. Good stuff.
Sure, I like that. If it can get through that $4.80 to $5 mark, there's that large gap to fill, so it could, you know, see some severe upside to about $6, $6.10.
So what's making these things move? Haas, you got anything on these?
I don't.
It's okay, Haas. We're going to forgive you for not having something on this on the fly, man. Hey, I want to talk about something real quick, guys, just because I like it and I'm long it, is Dell, D-E-L-L. It's up today 2.67%. They are joining the dividend givers, announcing a quarterly dividend. So they're trading up 33 cents, 2.76%. And you can see here, Dell, thinking of gaps, and that's another reason why I brought it up, is look at this gap it's got going on right here, man. Huge. Sold off nearly 20% off of its last earnings. So let's keep that in mind. Let's look at a weekly on this thing. 3-year. Wow. Can you say double bottom? Anyways, keep your eye on it, guys. Dell, D-E-L-L. What else we got going, boys? Looks like the bell's going to ring here in about 4 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, I can go over some more news if you guys don't have any else, other companies you want to talk about.
Yeah, why don't you hit up some news?
That sounds good, man. I finally found the press release I was so heartily searching for. Inter-American Gaming Incorporation, ticker IAGM. This one closed at 5 cents yesterday, I believe. But they just raised some money at 3 cents, $225,000. They just raised, I believe, $400,000 at 2 cents shortly before that. So they're starting to raise money a little bit higher. But the key thing I wanted to note is this SOFIT. It's this exercise-related gaming application or something. You know, kind of like the Wii Fit, so the SOFIT. It's kind of an interesting little product, and that's supposed to hit the markets this summer. And that's what they're raising funds for, to market this thing. So I'm kind of excited for that to come out and see what it does for this company, because I think it's going to have a pretty positive effect on the share price once it starts selling.
Groupon gapping down a little bit this morning. Looks like she's on a downtrend. GRPN, Groupon, it's down. What do we got here? It's down 3% this morning. It's currently showing me a bid and ask of 963 by 973. Looks like the support on the chart is at 880 after this 963. This 963 is also a support level. So if it can't hold right here, I'm going to be looking for some more downside on Groupon. I don't think this thing is done. You know, sniffing out its bottom.
Thinking of some other internet gamers / social media, Zynga just got taken out back yesterday. It was down 10%. It's up 2% right now, trading at 508 by 509. Had a hedge fund guy come out, forget his name, starts with a C, but he came out and basically bashed Zynga that, you know, they're gaming on the Facebook. You know, the Facebook effect is spread far and wide, with basically everybody's getting beat up. But ZNGA, it's at 507 by 508. This is one that me and Sumo played some options on when it was $7. So good thing we took our profits on that, huh, Sumo?
Yeah, well, we played it right in the right time. You know, we knew that it was going to get hyped up going into the Facebook IPO, and we had a good strategy there, in and out before the IPO, and we walked away with some nice profits, man. That's why it's always important. Know your trading strategy before you go into the trade. Figure out a strategy and plan your trade and trade your plan. Execute. It's all about execution.
Yeah, and while we're on trading a plan, I'm going to throw up the ARNA chart and say, yeah, buddy Haas, I'm loving my July $7 call that I picked up for 80 cents. Been flipping this a few times. Just loving it. It's trading at, well, yesterday it closed at about $1.90, so already one bagger. We'll see today. It should be about there's going to be a nice premium on it. Here we go. Looks like the market's ready to rock. Good stuff. But mahalo, Haas. Playing the trade from the Haas. 822 by 823. Up 4.44%. That's my kind of number, Haas.
You still got 2 weeks to the FDA decision. What are you going to do with yourself?
I'm just going to keep watching them increase with price. And if Arna gives me a pullback, you know who's adding to that position.
Yeah, it's tough to predict what some of these stocks are going to hit before an FDA decision, but the obesity hype is just nuts. So I wouldn't be surprised to see $10 on that thing. Wouldn't count on it though.
So it's trading at $2.24 right now.
What? Hello.
Kicking butt. What else we got on the radar, guys?
15 to 20. We got RGIN getting lots of action again this morning. That's the stock we just went over, the big news. FDA play, orphan drug status on their skin replacement therapy for catastrophic burn patients. Getting a lot of action again this morning. 300,000 in volume at 29 cents right now, which is up 7.4%. Gapped a little bit. Closed at 27 cents yesterday. Opened at 28.5 today. But definitely getting some action. That'll be a fun one to watch all day long. Let's see here. This is an interesting one. CFGX. It's just gotten a few taps so far. Closed at 0099 yesterday. This is actually the next news bit I was going to go over, so I'm kind of keeping my eyes on it right now. I think it might be a thin one. I'm going to have to go do some due diligence on it, though. They put out press capital there to raise $3 million for a distressed St. Louis gold mine. They're actually a bank, but they've acquired this distressed gold mine through some sort of like loan or asset purchase or something with some company, but they're actually going to put it into production. So you're going to have a bank putting this mine into production, and you know they got this commitment for $3 million to start exploring on the property. So it's pretty interesting news. It's not your typical news that you see. So I'm gonna have to go do some due diligence on what the rest of the company is like. Anyways, I just feel like bringing that up.
Ooh, Regenison. Yeah, they just took it and just opened it right up. Opened up at 28.5 cents. She's up to 34 cents, folks.
Yeah, this one's beastin', that's for sure. I can't remember. Was this one promoted a long time ago?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought it was. I don't even remember who it was, but I thought it had some sort of big promotion at some point, like a year ago or something.
Got a little sub-penny mover that I'm seeing pumped out there on a few boards and chat rooms. That's HIMR. Started seeing some increased volume yesterday. That's Holland Industrial Marine Inc. Not sure what these guys do or what their share structure is. Not really familiar with any DD on this company. It's currently 0015 by 0016. Traded about 1 million shares this morning. It's up 0002 so far.
Yeah, I think I actually almost traded this company. I think it was back when it was like 8 to 10 cents. So I know a little bit about them. I'm sure they diluted this thing to piss, which is the reason why it's down here. And obviously the company's been pretty quiet. But they actually have some cool machinery that they develop for deep seawater, like logging and stuff like that. So it's kind of a cool product if you go to their site and check it out. But yeah, I've been hearing lots of chatter across the boards too. So definitely got my eyes on it. Got some bidders stepping in, a couple hits on the ask here. Still got my eyes on the NTB too. Getting a little bit of action again this morning. 407,000 in volume. 0093 up another 10.7% today. And RGIN continues to beast at the high of days. 34 still in the ass there. Looks like some pretty good bid support at 30 cents and above now.
Great volume, up to 787 million. And now we just broke through the high of day, 34.1 by 34.5. Huge bidder just popped up at 34 cents. UBS showing 100K. Oh yeah, we about to get interesting here on RGIN, folks.
I love it. Yes.
Chew through that ass. They're chewing right through it. 35s are going out the window. Gone. 36
You gotta
up.
be kidding me. Who the hell told us to buy that piece of
37's
shit?
clicking. We're up a dime nearly on the day. Opened up at 28.5 cents. We were talking about a pre-market. Hard not to notice this thing after such a big explosion yesterday, and it broke through all the resistance points on big volume and had some nice news.
Yeah, that's huge news. I mean, if anybody out there is a big FDA play guru, anytime you get news like that, these things can literally get a life of their own. We've seen stocks go from 10 cents to freaking $2 in the course of, a few weeks on news less than that. So if these bio stocks get some juice, they can keep going. So I'm definitely got my eyes on this one. It's going to provide a nice little trade opportunity here. And congrats to those that were purchasing the stock the couple of days before that news.
I'll tell you what's been catching my eye and has been thin and trading sideways in a consolidation pattern. We've talked about this one a lot in the past. And I think you know where I'm going with this, Haas. Give me a guess on what you think I'm going to talk about.
Viper Networks.
No, you knew it, buddy. That's right. I swear, we're all on the same wavelength here at Stock Traders Talk Radio. It's like we have an ESP thing working or something. And, yep, Viper Networks is what I wanted to talk about. They took it down early in the week. Monday, it broke that support at 0024 and was down like 0021, I believe. But yesterday I saw it was as high as 0029. So it's been trading in these 002 range, bouncing back and forth. It's been consolidated after that big last run it had, and I think she's getting ready to make a move here soon. I just have a feeling.
Yeah, this is one of those stocks where they're putting out good news, hinting at a ton of good stuff to come, and putting out a few feelers to the shareholders. And yeah, sure, they're hiring promotion, but all these companies hire promotion at one time or another, so that really doesn't put a negative spin on the company by any means, in my opinion.
Regenison, holy smokes, folks! Regenison, she's blowing the lid here. 42.5 by 43 cents, and looks like this thing's going to go up 100% from our call here out of the gate. Wow. HIMR just busted through 0016. They're coming up against resistance at 0017. I'm seeing 2.5 million on the ask here on HIMR at 0017. So if it can get through that resistance, that'll look good. But RGIM just chewing through every resistance point possible here this morning. Let's see where the next resistance is going to fall. We're up to 44 cents. Showing a little resistance here. Let's see what they want to do with it. 8 minutes into the market so far, and Regenison's traded 1.17 million shares. Excellent volume out of the gate. Okay, big blocks just hit the bid. Looks like it's going to be a pullback. Looks like it's going to pull back. There's a big bid up at 40 cents. If it doesn't hold this 40 cents, she's going to drop to the 30s. Oh, they're hitting the 40s. Let's see if she bounces here. It needs to hold this 40-cent mark. Getting some chatter on EVPH. I heard there's some news out this morning. Haas, you want to run through that?
Yeah, we can go check out that news. Let's pull it up on level 2 here first. Looks like we got 0028 by 0029 spread. Some big bids coming in at mid 002s and above here. Up 141.7% on the day on 2.3 million in volume. So not a huge amount of dollar volume coming in quite yet, but I think the news is pretty big for the company. Let's check it out. Everybody's Phone Company Incorporated, provider of prepaid telephone services, today announced that through an agreement with local telephone companies AT&T and Verizon, the company now offers 2 federally funded programs, the Lifeline Assistance and Link Up America, to its customers who qualify. Lifeline and Link Up are part of the Universal Service Fund, which distributed more than $8 billion in 2010 toward helping qualified low-income consumers pay for basic telephone service through discounts and subsidies. President, we are very pleased to begin extending our services to those most in need by helping every American have access to the basic necessities of modern living. Looks like pretty good news there for the company. EVPH anticipates annual revenues from this marketing channel to exceed $2 million during the first 12 months of Universal Service Fund's basic home service sales. So some positive revenue coming into the company there. Good news.
And she's breaking out as a result. 003's up, hitting a high a day here. Nice move on the day, up 0018. Okay, Regenison pulled back. It dipped to 37 and found support. Now she's back over 40 and looks like she's sailing north again. Let's see if it can break through the resistance at 44 or 45. That's where it found that resistance here this morning. We're always looking for higher highs and higher lows to confirm the bullish trend. And EVPH taking a slap at those 003s. Big bidders showing up at 0028. HIMR had a nice slap at the ask of 0017. They were showing a couple million shares on the ask at 0017, and now that's reduced down. I'm seeing the ask size decrease and the bids starting to increase. So HIMR level 2 is shaping up, looking good here.
And Apple's taking off here, boys. Looking at a 5-minute, 3-day chart. I hopped on the 585 call. It's trading up at a $1.95 right now. It had a low today of a $1.02. But let's check this out here. Basically, the way I'm playing this is yesterday or over a few days, you could draw these lines right here. You can see where she broke that. The explosion right now, we're hitting this 200-day moving average. You got a couple points of references you can use right here. Obviously, it's hitting that 200. You're at a resistance right now. You're going to look for that next point to be right along through here somewhere. You know, draw it any way you want, but you also could put this one on here, the original trend line. So I know that's a lot of lines real quick, but yep, bussing out Apple. Look at a 60-minute, it's looking even better, but we'll see. The market's trading down. Apple's up 0.30%, so nothing special, but keep your eye on it. Apple 577 by 87, 77, so we'll see. But she's hitting that resistance right now, that 200 MA on a 5-minute. Let's look at a 60-minute real quick here. Pull up a 20-day, and you can see it's trying to bust up through that 20 MA. So check it out. This could, a lot of people are calling this a bull flag. Well, it looks like it's trying to break that bull flag pattern and move on up. Let's take a quick look at a daily here. Love my Apple. Looking at a 1 year, you can see you got a nice formation going on here. We need it to, you know, based on that one right there, you could say it's breaking out, but I'm going to stack it on that one, that last swing high, and you can see that going on there. And you've got your divergence. Got yourself a nice little wedge pattern going here. So Apple's about ready to make a huge move in one way or the other. Stick to the lines. You got your 50 MA ahead of you as resistance, and you got that 20 as support. Now, always remember, you can see what it did when it hit this 100 MA, huge bounce. If it does it again and doesn't hold, you know, you can refer to that last swing low. A break below that, don't forget your 200 MA down here. If it broke that 200 and fell and broke that swing low, I would almost guarantee it goes to that 200 MA. Let's not forget you've got a massive gap way down in the 440 to 450 range. I'm not saying that's where Apple's going. If it did, it'd be a blessing, and I'd buy the living hell out of it. But hey, let's just play it for what it is right now. You've got that 585 call cracking 204 right now. It's already up 100% from the low of a 102. So that's why we play the Apple options. And here's another one. Look at this. Arna taking off 844 by 845. I'm loving it. Dell's up 4.5% now. It's trading at 1251. The street's obviously loving that. Here's another one I'm going to throw here. Hoku, H-O-K-U. It's at 18 by 19. Look at the chart pattern. It's looking beautiful. You got that 50 MA up next if it can get up through this 20. And it's up there around, I can't even see what it's at right now, but it's up there. So keep that on watch, H-O-K-U. Hey, sorry. That's what you get when you go and buy all your stuff from China. MUX. Here's another one that's rocking right now. It's looking beautiful. That's McEwen Mining. They just have been beating the living hell out of this thing. Let's look a little weekly on this thing. This is my favorite spec miner play. You can see it's just been taken out back all year long. I mean, even since April. I mean, this thing's got a heavy short on it. A lot of people talk about the miners being shorted by J.P. Morgan himself. We'll see what happens there, but keep it on radar. MUX. What else we got going on in the OTC world? Sumo, you got anything popping on the scanner? Haas?
Yeah, I finally got my scanner up and running here.
Boom.
The things that are popping off are ones that we've been talking about. Look at the top of the scanner. What do we got? Are there RGIN, Regenison. The next best looking thing on the scanner is Everybody's Phone Company. We hit that one up. It's up 166%. Getting some more volume. It broke through the 003s. She's up to 0032. So EVPH, RGIN looking really good. Got ADXS making a nice little move here on some significant volume. Over 2 million shares traded on ADXS, up 16% thus far. Got MSEZ trading some big volume. We talked about this one a while back. And it's making a 150% run here this morning on 78 million shares. HIMR up 21%, broke through the 0017s, 0018 now on the offer. MRNJ, 2.4 million shares traded, last traded at 0075, up 20% this morning. You got BMSN up 28% this morning on 2.79 million shares. That's Boy, Mary, Sally, Nancy, Biomatrix Scientific. So a couple of good lookers on the scanner there. Everybody's Phone Company just broke through the high of day. 0034s are up. Level 2 is looking great. Some big bidders showing up at 003, 0031, and 0032. They're stacking up, and the offers are thinning right out.
Yeah, this one was definitely beaten down after the recent news with the end of that merger agreement and spin-off agreement. So it was kind of sitting down there on low volume. So this one is heating up in some big ways on that news, that's for sure.
Kaboomage!
Yeah, you mentioned that ADXS. I had that one up on level 2. Right before you started talking about it, we mentioned that positive preclinical trials for that company. That was the press that they put out this morning. And this one is getting some decent bid support at 10 cents and above. Over 2 million in volume now. Last trade, 10.48 cents, up 16.4%.
Everybody's Phone Company is really chewing through the offers. The volume shot up here pretty nicely in the past couple minutes. It was up to 4 million. Now it's up to 6 million in volume. And nice big bidder at 0034 for 1 million shares. So definitely some interested buyers out there trying to get cheap shares on the bid.
HIMR spread 0017 by 0018. Did you say that 17 mark was a resistance point?
Yeah, that was a good resistance early out of the gate. Level 2 was showing some large size there, and they broke right through it. Now the offers have thinned right out. Let's take a look at the chart. The next key resistance is going to be 002, which is the 100-day moving average. After that, you got 0026 and 0033 as resistance points. I just pulled up the chart, and this chart's looking pretty good, actually. She just broke above the 20-day moving average, which is key. The RSI is holding above the 50 overlay, which is key. The PPO is getting ready to cross over, and that's above the 50 overlay. And the slow stow is just getting above the 50 overlay. So if the moon and the sun and the stars all properly in line, this one's ready for outer orbit, baby.
I like that assessment. What I like seeing right here is we're not seeing any bid wax on this one, so it makes you think that some sort of news or something is coming.
Certainly.
You mentioned your MSEZ. Looks like the 0005s are basically gone. 0004 by 0005. right now. I'd like to see a little bit more bid support on that 0004 mark, but as you mentioned, up 150% on 85 million in volume so far this morning. So tons of action. I'm not sure exactly what's going on. ADXS, high of day back on the ask at 10.5 cents. Market maker sitting on the bid, 10.4, 10.3, 10.2. Looks like we might have some resistance at this 10.7 cent mark. It's a 100,000 share order sitting there through PERT. EVPH, still some big bids showing up on 0034 mark, 0034 by 0035.
Oh boy, you know what got taken out back yesterday?
What's up?
Rars. Man, they really took the tongue out of that tiger. It's down to a low point here. This is at a really attractive level to me because
oh wow,
the last time she was down here, it had a really nice bounce. It was as low as 0.51 and bounced as high as 14.5 cents. So currently it's 0.62 by 0.65. Definitely want to keep an eye on this one for a potential bounce down the road.
Yeah, that one's had some wild swings for the savvy trader, that's for sure. See if we can find anything else here. SMPK, one of our favorites, that was up at like $2.50 on the massive promotion. Looks like that one's hammered down to 6 cents this morning. Got to be very, very careful with these bigger promotions because it can kill you. It can literally take you out of the game if you get greedy.
Yes, sir.
I'm sure you guys probably mentioned it, but if you didn't, what's going on with HIMR?
I love it when
I missed
you just
that
like talking
Sippy.
about it a minute ago or something.
We've only been talking about it half the morning.
Oh well, there you go. What's going on? Refresh me.
Well,
give me a recap.
First thing this morning, I said that I saw some people chatted up on the chat rooms and the message boards, and the pump crews coming out of the woodworks here on this one, and we were watching the level 2 out of the gate. It opened up at 0015. I saw some fairly decent size on the offer at 0017. Called that as resistance. She broke through it and was hitting 0018 for a second, but now looks like the resistance is back at 0017. That's going to be a key area if it can get above that. The next resistance spot, let me go back to the chart here, is going to be the 100-day moving average, I believe, which is currently sitting at 002. So she got above the 20-day moving average, which is at 0014. Definitely needs to hold above that. We want to see it hold above that as support. Needs to hold above that 20-day. I'd like to see it get above the 100-day, which is sitting at 002. And then after that, the next key resistance is going to be 0026, and then 0033 and 0045. Those are all previous spots where it ran to earlier this year.
Very, very nice.
But I like how the volume has been building these past few weeks. It's been making higher highs and higher lows off of the recent bottom, and all the indicators are holding above the 50 overlay. The slow stow is the last that just got above that 50 overlay, and I'd like to see that slow stow keep getting them north and get above the 50 line.
Gotcha. You know, it's kind of funny. We just mentioned that they were going to put out news, and literally 0 minutes ago they put out news. So why don't we go check that out?
I'll tell you that RARS is going to look good for a bounce here. Somebody's going to gobble up these 6.5 cents, and it's going to go right back to 7s. That's what it looks like to me on a level 2. It's super thin, and the buys just came in at, and the offer looks like it's going to be lifted here.
All right, let's check out this HIMR news. Holland Industrial Marine Incorporated announced today that management has been networking with state and local governments, environmental agencies, utilities, and businesses across Brazil to create invaluable financial opportunities in the region, resulting in the formation of the company's second specialized underwater forest project development team. Brazil has among the largest known underwater forest resources in the world, stated Schlieben Romain, vice president of Holland Industrial Marine. As many as 4,000 square miles of pristine rainforest have been inundated by dam construction along the Amazon River watershed. Creating a South American project development team initially focused in Brazil only makes good sense. The opportunities in Brazil are plentiful, and our relationships within the region are increasingly strengthening. So some really positive news there for Holland Industrial Marine. Explain some of the action that we've been seeing so far.
So much fun reading these level 2s. The resistance was at 0017 earlier, got through it, and the offers showed up, stacked back up. It looks like they're trying to take it out again. We're up to over 8 million in volume so far. RARS, I called the bounce. I saw the level 2 was thin on the offer, and sure enough, they took the 6.5 out. Now it's 6.5 bid by 7-cent offer. Been a great morning so far this morning, boys. Got a couple of nice winners. That RGIN was a doozy, and I said if it didn't hold that support at 40 cents, it's going to dip back to the 30s, as we're seeing now. We're seeing the pullback after the first 15 minutes of excitement. You got everybody's phone company really trucking along this morning. That was a fun one to watch so far. Over 10 million in volume, 0035 by 0036.
Ooh.
Oh,
just lost bid support a little bit.
Lost the bid support at 3.5. 003 by 0035. We lost the bid support on HIMR. She's back to the 20-day average. Has to hold this 0014 as support on HIMR. So 10 o'clock comes, and then boom, the sellers come out. The amateur hour is over, and the people who are holding their shares, they're seeing these things run. They're like, hey, let's take some profits. So that's what we're seeing here. And RARS just got another uptick. They took the 7 cents out. Now it's 0735. Currently bidding at 065.
Good stuff, man.
Certainly an exciting Wednesday.
Yeah, it is. ADXS high of day up on the ask at 10.6 cents. Not a hit on it quite yet, though. Last trade is 10.5 cents. 10.4 now at 15.6%. Almost 3 million in volume now.
Okay. You probably... excuse me, probably talked about this one as well, boys, but bear with me. It's hitting the scanner. IWDM.
No, we didn't.
No, we didn't get that one.
All right. It's low volume. It's up 31%. It's got an ugly spread of 2.1 by 2.5, 0.21 by 0.25. But it's hitting the scanner, so what's happening here, Haas?
It's got a fatty million share bid on 2.1 cents, which I always like to see. As you mentioned, pretty low volume so far. Last trade at 2.5 cents, up 31.6%. Just under 34,000 in volume. Big spread, 2.1 by 2.5 cents. But you do have that fat million share bid sitting there on 2.1 cents. I'm not sure. IWDM, huh? see if we can't find something on the iHub here. Looks like later on yesterday they released an amended quarterly report for whatever reason. I'm not sure if that's it, but see if we got any sticky posts on the iHub we can check out. I'm not sure, man. I give up.
Okay, I got one more for you. BOCX.
BOCX, huh?
BioCureX. It's up 50%. It's on low volume as well. It's a 006 by 0.01 spread. The chart looks interesting.
Yeah, this one's had some good bounces in the past.
It's crossed. It's hitting the scanner on obviously a percentage gain, and also it crossed through the 20 MA. You can see it hasn't really done that since it's got its ass handed to it back in March. Tried once or twice, but failed. It's got that 50 MA right above it as resistance, which is I'm going to go ahead and say that's the 1 cent you're looking at. So keep your eye on it. You got a little bottoming formation going on here. We'll see if she holds. Some of the other indicators are looking sweet. Like we said, low volume, so might be nothing worth noting, but I noted it. What else is happening, guys? We about ready to wrap it up here, or you got some other stuff you want to look at?
I got one that I wanted to look at just because I like the chart on it. It's been making higher highs and higher lows off of a recent bottom. That's OMVE. I'm seeing the PPO pinch. It looks like it's getting ready for a cross, and it's the chart looks like it could be getting ready for a nice move. Got the slow stow that's coming up and getting ready to take out the 50 overlay. But recently this thing bounced off of 10 cents and ran as high as 19.9, so it's capable of some good swings, and just keeping it on my radar. But yeah, what a great hump day. Excellent middle of the week, seeing some exciting plays pop off. And we'll be back in action tomorrow morning, so be sure to tune back in at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time sharp. I'm ready to wrap it up, boys.
Let's do it.
All right. Let's find a little soundbite before we get off the show. You want to do your favorite commercial there?
Yes.
Why not?
God,
yes.
Who the hell told us to buy that piece of shit?
Bud Light presents Real Men of Genius.
Real men of genius.
Today we salute you, Mr. Hot Stock Tip Giver Outer.
Mr. Hot Stock Tip Giver Outer.
Why go to professional analysts when we can get inside information from your brother-in-law's sister's fourth cousin's stepfather?
On your mother's side.
Sure, you may know absolutely nothing, but we know even less.
Beep, 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 oh, mommy.
Your motto, buy low, sell low. Get other people to buy low and sell low.
Keep hope alive.
So crack open an ice cold Bud Light, oh, tighten up the tip. Although you're always wrong, you'll always be our Mr. Right.
Mr. Hot Stock Tip Giver Outer.
Bud Light Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Thanks for tuning in to STT Radio, folks. We're out.
Aloha.
Thank you for listening to Stock Traders Talk Radio. All views and topics talked about on Stock Traders Talk Radio is solely for entertainment purposes. We are not professional financial advisors and always recommend you seek the advice of a professional financial advisor. Never invest in any stock featured on our show unless you can afford to lose your entire investment. The information contained on our show is based on sources which we believe to be reliable, but is not guaranteed by us as being accurate. and might not be a complete statement or summary of the available data. Stock Traders Talk Radio advises that the investments in companies profiled are commonly considered to be high risk, and use of the information provided is at the investor's sole risk. Thank you for listening to Stock Traders Talk Radio.